And we are back for another episode of the Gathering Movement interview series. Today, I am here with Eleonor, who is calling in from Sweden. So thank you so much, Eleonor, for just being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's lovely. That's the best part now in this era, is that it's so easy to connect like this.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And we connected because we were both part of the beautiful multi-author book, Awakening, which was just such an incredible experience to be part of, really this movement to be a part of with other women who are using their voices, who are speaking up for things that matter. So I just love to bring forth that connection that we had just a couple of months ago.
Yes. And I couldn't agree with you more on that either. Because Awakening, I mean, it was such an important book with so many powerful women with so important messages about how to, birth a new world and everything. Exactly the tools that we need now.
So timely.
Yes.
So we chose this topic today, or you chose this topic of aligning with your energy to make more money. And I'd love to just first ask you, why does that matter? Why does it matter for us to align with our own energy?
Because are you asking as an entrepreneur or as a person?
For anyone, say someone's listening who they might be entrepreneurs, they might just be someone scrolling on Facebook seeing this conversation. So why is it important to just align with our energy in the first point?
Okay, I'm gonna do it in 2 steps then. As a person, I've been working for 14 years with this, so it's quite a while now. And I was a spiritual teacher, a spiritual practitioner before I was doing all the other stuff that I do. And what I am a clairvoyant, so I see the energy field of persons, and I have been noticing for many years that people are having a major problem when it comes to their auric field, their energy field, the bio-human field. And it can be anything from when an empath is feeling a burnout, or if you are having issues after a narcissistic relationship, or there are so many people that are having nightmares, they feel there's this sleep paralysis, everything. It's all because you can't control the energy field. Everything is about that. And if you're feeling exhausted when you are in a big group of people, it's also because you can't control the energy field. So that is one of my major missions right now. Is I'm coaching about that, and I'm speaking about it like this too. And if we look upon it from the entrepreneur side of this, you are your business. So if your energy field is a mess, your business energy field is a mess. And if your energy field is a mess, you can't keep the focus that you need in order to, you set a goal. You want to go there. You want to complete something. It's not the same focus when you can't control the field. So that is why it's so important to do it.
This is funny that we're having this conversation. There's no coincidence. So this morning, I am a part of a women's Kundalini yoga community. And I asked the question, I said, I'm just so fascinated with people who know nothing about the aura. They know nothing about magnetism, and they're able to become billionaires and millionaires. And then there are people who are very conscious about, strengthening the aura and doing things specifically to be able to hold more, and they're struggling. And how, do you know what I'm talking about? How do people do this?
And I can tell you why. Because the thing is, in the spiritual community, we are taught that you should create a border or boundaries, like energy shields around you. But the problem is that people aren't aware that you are your thoughts. You control your energy field with your thoughts. You can control your focus with your thoughts. And they are always subconsciously scanning the room when you're an empath. And that means you're not inside your own field, you're outside of it. Yeah. So that's the big problem. People in the spiritual community, they can't control their thoughts. And they're scanning and scanning and scanning. And some people, they are scanning because it's interesting when you're starting this amazing experience as an intuitive, as a psychic, and you're, wow, this is a totally new world. I want to connect with everything. And it is amazing, but it's also amazing to be able to live as a muggle too. I mean, we need the balance. So it's so important. This is why I have a select few clients that I teach every month about this, because they need to understand their own pattern, their own thought pattern, their own mindset, their own, it's in 99.99% of the times, these persons, they have been in some kind of narcissistic relationship in the past.
And why is it that people who aren't conscious about the aura, they are able to hold more money? How come they're able to, what is going on in their energetic field?
There's two answers here too, because if we look upon the spiritual community, people think that money is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you should just give away your gift. And I'm like, no, sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm charging for my time, not my gift. Yeah. And the other thing is that even if you're not, you don't have to be psychic to be able to have a strong focus and to have natural boundaries. And this is why they get successful, and because they have the focus because of this. So it's and because they don't pick up everything everywhere. Yeah,
that makes sense to me. What is your origin story? How did you find your way into this work?
Yeah, I have been a clairvoyant since birth, and I had a pretty good childhood with my mom and dad and everything. We lived out in the country on a big farm, and then I had my first boyfriend. Ta-da! And he was a narcissist. Yeah. And then that is where it happened. And that is where I started to feel so unsafe in the relationship, so that I started to scan the room all the time, because I needed to know if he was, because the thing with him was also that he used different drugs. And I never felt like he was honest about that with me. And that meant I never felt safe there. So that is why I scanned the room subconsciously. And it's evolved, and I had another boyfriend. He was also a narcissist. And then I married the biggest narcissist of them all. And it's not my husband now. And I almost died during that relationship. And that is also where I, I stopped breathing in the ambulance. I tried to commit suicide. That's how it went. My hellfire years. And I think that was the point in my life when I had this near-death experience. I remember being in the void. I remember being at home in the void. I remember meeting her. Yeah. And that was when life changed. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I just love hearing our stories. And this can probably go into why you are doing what you're doing in the world now, but we realize that we're not so different. we've all had some sort of challenge or some sort of awakening that led us to understand who we are, maybe on a deeper level.
Yeah.
So I truly appreciate that. Now, what are your best kind of tips or practices for someone to realign with their own energy and create these boundaries in their own life to attract more money?
The first exercises that my clients have to do is they have to find their core, their inner core, their own frequency. Because that is also the problem as an empath, is then when we get all mixed up in everyone else's energies, there are so many people, they aren't aware of where their own field stops, ends, and where another starts. And this is also why we don't know. We don't know our own frequency, because we are so entangled in everyone else's emotions. So that is the first thing. I usually give them some affirmation, some meditation. And I mean, you can do that at home as well. Just focus upon finding that essence of yourself that's just you, only you. That essence that never changes.
Yes.
Yeah. And what I also tell them to is to start checking if that core is in the middle of their body. Because when you are subconsciously scanning the room the whole time, you don't have that core inside your body. Most of my clients are having their core way outside their body. Yeah,
that's really interesting. Are you familiar with the book Frequency by Penny Pierce?
No, I haven't read that.
You would love it. She talks about your home frequency and how to understand and feel into different energy, how to feel into the energy of plants, inanimate objects.
I teach that. I probably love her.
Yes. And I was fascinated by the book because it was just so nice to have it in a format of like written understanding of the terms like vibration, frequency, your field, and how you can really create and merge into the existence of future timelines, everything like that. It's just, it's fascinating.
It is. And when you start owning your field, you're owning your shit, you're owning your field, you're owning your reality. And when you're owning your reality, and there's no one else in that field, you can do anything, including getting loads and loads of money.
So step one is to kind of identify your core, understand your field, understand what is you versus someone else, and kind of be able to center in, kind of like anchor into your own field.
Yeah. And to correct it. If you feel that you're outside of it, then put it inside. And I mean, we can control everything with our mind, with our thoughts, everything that comes to energy. And this is also amazing because there are so many people that think that, oh my God, I can't be a millionaire because my neighbor is an asshole and my ex don't want me to be successful and my mother, blah, blah, blah. And the interesting thing about this is nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And you can always control your field. You can always control your thoughts, your mindset, everything. No one has anything to do with your energy if you're able to control it. Because this is also makes you realize how powerful you are. Yeah.
I love this.
Yes. Yay.
Something I like to think about a lot is what the world would look like with more conscious leaders, with more people who are living in in accordance and in alignment with their core, their energy field, their desires. In your opinion, what would the world look like if we had more conscious millionaires?
It would be amazing. And the wonderful thing is that I have more and more clients that are leaders in their fields. I have celebrities, and they are awake. And I'm like, yeah, we are there. You know, this is happening. This is not going to be someone somewhere in the future. It's happening now. And I think when we are in that, in the power, you know, when you feel 100% what is you, you're invincible. No, not invincible. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Invincible. Yeah, I'm
That's
just trying to find the word, you know. The problem for me is that I had a burnout for 10 years during that relationship. And after that, I lost a lot of the English words for some reason. But yeah, anyway, yeah. I think this is, it's so amazing when you see that in people. And it's also, I mean, they are completely unstoppable. And as I'm also a conspiracy theorist, I think that is why so many, there are so many, they're trying so hard to stop these leaders in so many ways, because they are, you know, when you are true, when you are authentic, when you are in that inner core, when nothing can, I mean, they can't control you, they can't force you into something, they can't do anything. You're just standing there in that power.
Absolutely. And this is why my chapter of Awakening was about sovereignty. And I don't even, it's funny because when I wrote the chapter, I don't even think I fully understood what that word and the vibration of that word would mean in what we're living in right now. Yeah. And it just couldn't be more true. Yeah. No one can strip away our power. No one. Yeah. And we've been taught to believe that there are forces above us and leaders who can, and it's just not true. It's not true.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think that when you step into your own power, I mean, you see through everything. You see through the system. You see through all the lies. And you know what you have to do to change the world.
Yes. Are you seeing this a lot more in your work right now? People who are seeing through some of the illusion and who are here to bring forth the mission?
Yes, I do. And there are so many indigos. You're into the indigo thing also, yeah?
I would actually love for you to share more about it.
Yeah, well, an indigo is what we can say that they are a special energy come here to Earth. Certain people, often the leaders, they are quite fierce in their energy. I'm an indigo. You are an indigo too. Yeah. And we see through the illusion. You can't lie to us. That's the thing. There are, they are here to, I mean, they are burning down the old system and recreating the new. They are here to show other people the many different truths that are out there, because there aren't just one truth. And I mean, we can go into there's a specific energy in their work field. But what's most important is that they can't be lied to. You can never lie to an indigo. They will always see the truth, and they will fight with everything they have to to see the change, to be the change, to stand here as warriors of the new era. And what I also see in the Indigos is that when they don't understand their mission, when they have been many, I mean, we're very sensitive to toxins. And what's important there is that what I can see in these people is that they can get quite depressed if they feel like we don't have a tribe, or we have lost it, or we don't know where to begin. But the thing now is that, I mean, social media, they are trying to censor everything, of course, but they can never censor our tribe, our belonging, our inner knowing that we are not alone. We are not alone anymore. We are doing this together. And that is also something I am so passionate about sharing, because as we spoke about earlier, I had the publishing company. I'm publishing books, multi-author books as well. And this is a rebel act for me as well, because the Indigos are the rebels as well. And because for every author I get into these books, they are using their voices, just as you are so passionate about that. And when we are using our voices, they can never silence us again. And that's the best feeling ever. And my authors, they are like, oh my God, first of all, you would love them. They are amazing. But what's most amazing is that when I see the growth, when they started, as I'm going to be a writer, and then they're writing the chapter, and then they're seeing the outcome and seeing the book and everything, and they have grown so much, and they are quitting their jobs, and they are, I know people, several of them, they are like multiplying their income before the book is even published, because they're standing there and they know, this is who I am. This is what I choose to do with my life. What I say that my time is worth. If you're gonna have a piece of that. And yeah, it's just the best feeling.
It's beautiful to hear you even talk about it, because it just gets me excited. For you, what is your biggest vision with not only the publishing company, but just in general? What are you here for?
I'm here to change the world, of course.
Of course.
I did this crazy thing in Sweden 5 years ago. I started a church.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Because the thing in Sweden is that we can't homeschool. We're not allowed to homeschool. Mm-hmm. And the kids have to be at school from 6 years old to 15, 16 or something like that. And we're not allowed to bring school lunches either. They have to eat what is served, even if it's something that, you and I both know about toxins, about gluten and everything. So the thing I did was that I created this church, this movement, where I put in everything I believe in, everything from Atlantis to frequencies to every little thing about, toxins and those sort of things. And I changed Sweden. I changed Scandinavia, because our members now get organic food, they get gluten-free food, they get whatever they need for their frequency, their system. So this is just a small part of what I'm having this vision about, this conscious movement growing even bigger. I have already taken those steps where we are. Have you heard about the free man movement? you have to check that, because
I
the
will.
free man movement, it's about, I know when we are born, we are born into a company. I mean, the state is a company. We get a number. Yeah.
Yep.
I know for sure. I never agreed upon that. So the free man movement, it's actually about saying to those people having that company that, okay, I'm out of this. I'm not in this anymore. I'm a private, I'm a sovereign. And this is a part of the process. And it's about freeing yourself, freeing from all the frequencies that you are entangled into that state. And I mean, I can go all conspiracy nuts, but I'm not going to do it now. But that's my mission, to create this freedom for everyone.
Ooh, I'm so inspired, especially by the church,
Cool.
because I've always thought to myself, well, if I don't see it in front of me, build it. And it sounds like that's what you did.
Yes, I do. And I think that's also a strength of the Indigos, because we create what is needed.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's also interesting is that we see when something is needed, and we can see the whole picture, and we see all the connections, the parts that are missing, and how we can get there. So, yeah.
Who or what has been one of the most inspiring teachings or teachers that you have ever come across?
Oh, that's such a hard question, because the thing is, I have, this sounds really strange and really egoistical, and but the thing is, my best teacher was remembering my past lives. Because there were so many lifetimes, and I have been doing this for so many lifetimes in other parts of the universe, and then we go haywire, and people are going to think I'm crazy. It's okay. So for me, it really was that I had these amazing experiences in different these holy places in different countries, where I just opened up and remembered completely who I was. And actually also that, this is also going to sound funny, because my ex-husband, the one that almost killed me, he has probably been the best teacher. Because first of all, I found myself 100% after that. And I also, I remember so well when he said, "You're never going to survive without me. You're never going to survive economically." And I'm like, I'm earning more in 1 month than he did in 1 year. So yeah. And of course, my children, they are the best teachers also. They are amazing.
I love that answer, and I've never gotten that one before. So I like that.
Cool.
What is your kind of final words of wisdom for anyone who's listening that is ready to make more money? They're ready to bring in more. They know they're freaking capable of it. They know they were born for this, but something's off. What do they do?
Own their shit, own their past, own their shit. Just realizing that you can do anything. You are completely unstoppable. You have to find your passion and bring that to the expert level, and just do it. And just, there are so many people, especially in the spiritual world, and when I'm asking them, how much do you charge an hour? And then they are like, I had a discussion on Facebook the other day with a woman, and she put an offer where she charged $3. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you're crazy. You're amazing. Because I know that woman. I said, you're amazing. Stop this now.
Yeah.
Instantly. You're not allowed to do this anymore. And when we start understanding what we're capable of, I usually say to my students, I said that, okay, if you can imagine a sum that you're almost embarrassed when you're telling someone, yeah, and then double it, then we are getting close to what you should start with, yeah. And another thing, and I'm sorry if I'm
no, keep going. This is great.
I just love to speak about this because what's so important. Oh, I forgot the red thread there. I just have to bring it back in my head. That's also the Indigo. These quick thoughts, this quick mind. When you get bored, if there's not happening quick enough, because you're so intelligent, yeah. And stand in that power. I mean, stand there to own your reality, own your energy, focus it, because it's all about where you direct that energy. Have this target, this goal. I mean, you can do it with mind maps. You can do it with all different. There are so many great tools out there. But control the field, do the work, the inner work, own your shit, as I said, because there's no one that's perfect, and we can't wait until we're perfect. I mean, that's not going to happen. So just do it and love what you're doing, and when we love it, we are there where we're supposed to be.
I think we should have called the interview "Own Your Shit."
Yeah, that we can do that too.
I'll add it. I love that, and I also think with money and charging your worth, it's about kind of breaking the matrix of what you've thought is normal in your own mind, of what you've been told is normal, because it's just energy, and it's neutral until you give it any meaning. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's so important also to have these front figures that we can look at and we can see, oh my God, she's charging this. Right. You can actually charge that for an hour. Yeah. And if I can charge that for an hour, so can you. That's how it is. So just own it.
I love it. How can people get into contact with you? How can they enter your world?
They can enter my magical realm by going into eleonoramora.com and email me, and I will show them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. This has been amazing on so many different levels. I think we could probably be here for hours just riffing on things that matter, messages to people, all of that jazz. So I just want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I loved it. And you're amazing.
So are you. Thank you. And thank you everyone who is supporting this movement. I've shared this, but the goal for 2021 is to interview 100 badass, visionary, way shower, change makers, rebels in the world who really have a message to share. So if you know someone, please tag them in the video. Please send them my way so we can continue to bring forth these messages of change in the world. So thank you everyone for being here, and thank you, Eleanor.
Thank you.